Hello, amazing people. Welcome back to our studios. And today we're talking about what happened yesterday, and that was very dramatic at the same time. A triumphant entry or a triumphant leader that is to the Uganda Cranes, that's the Uganda national team. But a very dramatic way to lose a match that is from the South African opponents of Uganda Cranes. And the game was as good as it was, with Uganda leading with one goal, opening goal from Uganda. That was a very, very, very magnificent goal that was made. And South Africa came from down and equalized that goal and made sure that they're also scoring another goal and made it 2-1. And they scored a third goal, making it to 3-1 against Uganda Cranes, that's in favor of South Africa. And then something happened somewhere. Then South Africans were celebrating because it was only remaining like 6 minutes for the game to end, for South Africans to qualify to the next level, that is quarterfinals of the CHAN competition. And something happened. Uganda got a very good. That was a very good opportunity. They got a penalty and they converted that penalty into a goal. And within a very short time, in the additional time, the 8 minutes additional time, Uganda got another dramatic penalty that they also converted into a goal, making it level 3-3 against South Africa, the Bafana of South Africa. And that made most of the South African fans and players go mad because they never expected that. Like, most fans went on asking, why can you give two penalties that will totally equate to equalizing a match in such a competition? But it happened. The referee went, checked on the VAR, went on and checked on, referee went and checked it again, and he confirmed that that was a penalty and awarded that penalty to Uganda Cranes. And they converted that goal and made it 3-3. And that is how the match ended. That meant that Uganda is qualifying to the quarterfinals and South Africa is going back to the south. That is in Africa, the south of Africa. They went back to the south of Africa. And most of the South African fans are mad. Yes? One of their own, Benny McAfee, is making great strides in the in Kenya, leading the Kenyan national team to the quarterfinals and possibly leading the Kenyan team for the first time to the quarterfinals of the African Cup of Nations, and possibly leading them to the finals and even winning the Africa Cup of Nations with the Kenyan team Harambee Stars, while his own country team has been eliminated, that is in the group stages, which is not so normal with the South African team Bafana, because they are one of the dominant and the best teams ever in Africa. But again, we've seen a lot of dramatic changes in the African African Cup of Nations Championship, because most of the teams that everyone knows that cannot be eliminated to the group stages were eliminated in the group stages. Those are the teams like Nigeria, Senegal, name of these teams, Niger, all these teams, name them, they were eliminated in the group stages, including Bafana of South Africa, leaving most of the one time the teams that have been leaving most of the teams that were not known to qualified. The teams like Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda, Sudan. These teams, the first-time teams, but they're making very big strides, making sure that they're qualifying to the quarterfinals. And maybe, as we say, and as I say, I'm so sure that Kenya, Harambee Stars or Kenya will be on the finals against the contestant, the opponent, and eventually Kenya will be awarded or what is the champions of the Africa Cup of Nations 2024. So South Africans are very mad on social media, saying why this and that, why this and that. But Ben McCarthy is one of the best, because a coach that ever coached one of the greatest teams in the Premier League, that is Manchester United, cannot come and play, have some whatever games around here. He has experience. He has what he calls the Harambee Stars needs and all that, and that is what made them. Are making them, maybe the morale is making them to get to the next level. But we saw the waragi, the banana power, the power of the bananas in Uganda, making the Uganda Cranes get up from the soil, from the ashes, rebuild again, and they really build a very big city from the ashes. Nothing, no hope. Even some of the fans were leaving the stadium because they thought it's over. But these boys said, no, we will show you the spirit of Uganda, the spirit of Matoke, the spirit of Waragi. And they came up from the ashes and became the champions. Yes, reigning suprema on that group as number 1 in Group D. And Kenya number 1 in Group A. As you, Tanzania number 1 in Group C. And that is what is happening. So give us your views. What do you really think is going to happen next in these matches? Because it's getting hotter and hotter. The most awaited match, let me talk about in the next episode.